Hi, welcome. Simon here. In this video, I'll be replacing the full assembly on a keyboard trackpad because the hinge is broken. Alright, so the computer is very severely damaged, meaning that the mounting bracket for the hinge is all broke off. Therefore, my screen is wobbly. I'm not sure if you guys can see it at this point here, that the crack is happening on both sides and the screen it just wobbles. It's not even closing, just that the hinge is stuck at 45-degree angle and the thing doesn't close and it's just cracking up the plastic palmrest on the top here. Alright, so if you run into the same experience that I have, hopefully this video is going to help you. And again, this is a very common thing for a 17-inch laptop, just because the hinge at over time, that movement become hardened. As it gets hardened and hardened, therefore the plastic give out and it just broke and snapped. Alright, so and again, this video is also part of the keyboard replacement as well as the touchpad replacement, because this is a full assembly. As you can see that the keyboard is not a replaceable part, it comes with the full assembly. So therefore, if you have a keyboard problem, you would need to replace the whole thing. Alright, so let's get right into it. Enough of the introductions. I'm going to close it down by forcing it. I'm going to hold it down on both sides. As I push it down, little by little, the plastic is cracking up. Try not to break the Wi-Fi antenna or any of the cables that get stuck in between. As you can see that the hinge is, it's not closing down and it just hang right around there. Okay, let's remove the this little piece here, the rubber cover. Yep, the laptop is very severely damaged. If you ask me, it is not even closing down. Okay. Alright, once you have removed all the screws, the next step is to open up the back cover here. Once we have removed the back cover, I want to do an inspection, making sure that things are still intact except the both sides of the hinge is all broke off. Alright, so first thing I like to do is go ahead and disconnect the battery. Let's remove the battery. I wasn't sure if the computer was shut down or is this still a hibernation mode or sleep mode, so let's remove all the screws. And this is a good time for you to inspect the battery as well. So if your battery is swollen or if there's a lump on the battery, like like pregnant, right, then more likely you need to change out the battery. I do feel like the cell on the right here is a little bit lumpy. As I can press it, I can feel that little bouncy at the end of it. So this battery here definitely has been used for a little bit, might have a little bit more life left, but anyway, do not overcharge the battery. Okay, so once the battery is removed, I'll need to assess again the next round. Looks like I can disconnect the Wi-Fi here, so let's go ahead and pull this Wi-Fi cable out. Run it through all along the corner so the Wi-Fi cable is up. It's good. I'm going to push this thing all the way to the back, the hinge. Okay, I can go ahead and disconnect this LCD screen. First of all, I need to flip open the little clipper. Make sure the clipper is open up. Slide the cable out. There you go. And I should be able to remove the bottom part of it. Alright, so the screen is free and off to go. Okay, now the next step is to transfer everything over to that new Palmrest. So let's begin with things that we can do easily, meaning that let's try with this one here for now. Let's begin with the hard drive removal. Open up the clipper. Okay, flip the clipper open, slide that cable out. Be careful with it, it is still kind of taped down with the keyboard. And then remove the hard drive. The next step is to remove this. This is a USB port PCB. It ends up on the other side of it, so meaning that the whole thing has to come out. Let's put this on the side here. Here is for the DVD drive. This is the Wi-Fi antenna. Let's transfer the DVD for now. The DVD is able to get removed, so let's go ahead and transfer that. If you notice that the color on the Palmrest is different, this is black and that is silver. The color doesn't matter for my client. I just wanted to point that out to you. So therefore, yeah, if a different color is fine. And again, the keyboard has two different keyboard. One of them is with the lighting. Looks like this here has the lighting on it, but this keyboard here does not come with the backlight. So you might want to make sure that you buy the right keyboard. I think I got the wrong one here. It doesn't come with a backlight. I thought it wasn't had a backlight, but anyway. So I made a mistake on this part. There's a backlight cable here. If I noticed this, I would have purchased a different one, but this one doesn't come with it. So that's my bad. Okay, let's remove here. We're gonna remove things from the main board. So that is the two cables, which is for the CPU fan. I'm just gonna leave it on here. Disconnect some of the cables for touchpad, for the clicker. Looks like the clicker needs to be moved as well, because the clicker does not come with it on this part. So let's remove this. Let's slide it in. Right there is the speaker cable. Okay, I just disconnect the speaker cable. And right here is the DC jack cable. Just disconnect that as well. It looks like the DC jack cable can be transferred immediately. So let's go ahead and transfer it over. It just kind of snap onto the the bracket. Okay, the 2 screws holding down the motherboard. There's one last screw here by the USB port. And I think the motherboard should be free to come off at this point. Nope, there's one here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Disconnect the cable. This is the keyboard. Okay. I have the entire motherboard over. And last but not least, the 2 speakers. Let's go ahead and remove them as well. Alright, what I like to do is to transfer the speaker first. Okay, once the speakers are transferred, I'll be transferring the motherboard. Let's go ahead and slide it in. Everything looks good. I have all the screws. So there's one on the top right corner. This one right here, right next to the speaker, and that DC jack right by the HDMI, and right by the auxiliary jack. Reconnect the DC jack here back to the motherboard. Okay. And here comes the speaker. Reconnect it back, just like pushing it from the bottom to the top. Just push it back up, tape it down. I believe there's 2 screws. One of them is for the CPU here on the top left corner, and there's one here right through the motherboard. Okay, there's one screw here. I forgot where did it go. More likely it's gonna go right here, I believe. And this right screw here, the 2 thing goes on the top, the plastic with that 1 screw. Realign this USB port on this side. There are 2 screws holding it down. Here comes the Wi-Fi cable. But before I do that, I need to make sure I reconnect this. So reconnect the DVD drive all the way in. And this is the backlight cable, and I make a mistake on it. The computer has a backlight cable, but this keyboard doesn't come with it, so sorry about that part. Get the Wi-Fi back in there. And then the keyboard would have to be in, so slide it in. You gotta make sure the clipper is open, and then close it down by pressing it down. We have the both clickers are in place. And of course we need to reconnect this one here, which is the clicker. Looks like I do need to transfer the touchpad cable over to the new keyboard. Okay, all these are all done. And if you're interested to install the M.2 SSD drive, and here's your chance, you can actually buy one of these and insert it into the motherboard instead of running the regular hard drive. So M.2 slot is available on this side here. Okay, so let's reconnect the hard drive. This is the old hard drive. Here comes the battery. Well, let's reconnect the battery at last. Let me double check the hinge. Okay, the hinge is tough. Okay, let me move this here on the side a little bit because I wanted to address this problem, because this is the initial problem that started with things just, you know, went downhill. So let me remove the screw. I need to save the screw. We are holding it down using a plier so that when I turn that screw, it doesn't spin together as well. Okay. So that is the thing, the reason why I'm crimping it down. I can remove that piece right there. Let's do the same here for this one. There's another one here, hidden underneath. Okay, so this is what I need to address here, is that the hinge is really hard to close it. So I'm going to remove this little plastic, and this is where you can adjust the hinge. And as you can see, that lubricant is all dried up. I don't see any, well, a little bit here on the left, but on the right here is obviously it's all dried up. So what I like to do is, I hope I have the right tools, but I don't, is to loosen up the nut. Okay, you want to loosen up the nut where you can close it, because if you put enough pressure, see that plastic is broke off already. Okay, so that means it's running down in one or two screws here on the hinge. So the bottom part here broke off, and if this thing does not loosen, that plastic part will be broken off as well. So definitely need to find something to loosen this up. I do not have the right tool. Let me see if I can use the plier. You don't want to loosen it real loose. If you do that, then it doesn't hold the screen. So you just want to lose it enough not to break the plastic. Okay, so it's much easier now. Make it a little bit more loose, just because that one of the nut here is broken. Okay, so that is a lot easier to open and close. Okay, so it looks like both of them are loose now, in the sense that it's easier to open and close. Okay, let's close this one down together all the way in. Okay, once that is done, let's go ahead and slide this thing back together. And let's install the LCD cable. Close it down. Wi-Fi cable. So at this point here, what I like to do is to put the screws all back together. Okay, there are only 2 screws holding it down, which is obviously a flawed design if you ask me. But what I like to do is to put everything back is to test it out first, because like I said, I have loosened up the hinge, the nut, right? You saw me loosening up the nut, and that might have make the screen too loose or too tight. So you want to make sure that it doesn't do that. Let me see, was it this one here? It was. Okay, so there's extra. Okay, so what I want to do is to temporarily close it down here for a second and try to open up the screen. See, it's not holding. If I open up the screen and push it a little bit, it automatically falls back. So that means that the nut is too loose. I need to come back and retighten it again. So you might have to adjust to a point that it holds the screen, but then again it's not too tight on it. Okay, so I'll disconnect the cable, the Wi-Fi and the LCD cable. Okay, I'm making sure. Okay, this time should be okay. Okay, since this time I think that the nut is tightened to a point that is not too loose as well as not too tight. So therefore I think that the screen is gonna hold. And again, this is a 17-inch. The screen is gonna be slightly a lot heavier compared to the 15-inch. So therefore you need to tighten to a point that it feels good enough but not too tight. So I'm just going to finish up the repair by installing the battery, get it going and close everything back up. Now if you're not sure where to buy the replacement keyboard, please check the link down description below. What I'll do is I'll link it, direct you to either Amazon or eBay where you can find the replacement part. Okay. And if you do find this video is helpful, please go ahead and smash the like button for me. I really appreciate you for doing that. And if you want to share your gratitude to show appreciation as well as to support the work that I do on my channel, please feel free to click on YouTube Super Thanks. YouTube Super Thanks allow you to you know, donate in other words. All right, I really appreciate if you do that, and if not, just smash the like button. That would actually helps me a lot as well. And yeah, if you have any question, comment down below. I do read the comments and I'll answer you through the comments. And again, thanks for watching, and I think this is it. Have everything installed and you should be all good to go. Until next time, bye now.